The hush of the home garden settles in the early light, a quietude so profound it seems to absorb all distant sound, leaving only the delicate texture of the air, the gentle shift of light on stone and leaf. This small, enclosed space, tucked away from the rush of the world, becomes a vessel for simple presence, a domestic sanctuary where time slows its pace to an almost imperceptible crawl. The light is a painter's touch, soft and diffuse, yet bright enough to give definition to the shadows, creating a visual depth that invites the eye to rest and explore the nuances of the sheltered corner. It is a moment of pure atmosphere, where the sense of being perfectly still within the bounds of one's own space is the only discernible movement. The garden breathes a quiet contentment, holding the morning's nascent warmth in its enclosed embrace, a peaceful tableau that requires nothing more than silent observation. The visual narrative is built upon this profound stillness, the way the light pools and refracts, the subtle interplay of surfaces that have settled into their familiar domestic pattern. There is a deep, comforting intimacy to this scale, the knowledge that this small realm exists solely for the quiet enjoyment of home and enclosure. It is an image of settled calm, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary through the lens of stillness and focused light. The quiet weight of the stone, the soft surrender of the leaves, all speak to a harmonious balance achieved in this residential retreat, a sanctuary carved out of the daily world. The warmth of the low sun, an hour past its zenith, transforms the everyday materials of the courtyard into subjects of quiet reverence, casting long, soft shadows that stretch across the horizontal planes of the timber decking. The light here is thick and deeply saturated, a golden bath that emphasizes the patina of time on the wood and the velvety texture of the moss that clings to the clay vessel. This sheltered corner of the home garden feels utterly private and contained, a place where the passage of the seasons and the slow accumulation of weather are visibly imprinted upon the surfaces. The intimate scale of the view draws the observer close, focusing on the minutiae that define the atmosphere of this domestic space, emphasizing the deep sense of rootedness and stillness. There is no urgency in this light, no demand for attention, only a profound sense of settled calm, a visual meditation on material and atmosphere. The enclosed nature of the courtyard amplifies this feeling of peace, creating a microclimate of quietude where the sounds of the distant world are muted and irrelevant. It is a perfect moment of equilibrium, where the softness of the light meets the permanence of the structure, resulting in a scene of deep, comforting contemplation. The visual effect is one of quiet depth, a sense that every surface holds a long, unhurried story of its own. This stillness is not absence, but a fullness of quiet presence within the boundaries of the residential sphere. An overcast sky softens the light to a uniform, silver-gray tone, lending a deep, contemplative quality to the enclosed garden space nestled right beside the home. This indirect light reveals the texture of the leaves and the gentle lines of the simple metal chair without harsh contrast, bathing the scene in a consistent, calming atmosphere. The proximity to the structure emphasizes the domestic nature of the setting, a quiet extension of the home's own stillness, an intimate space defined by the soft shadow of the eaves. The composition is built around the feeling of waiting, of quiet repose, a silent invitation held within the frame. There is a tangible stillness in the air, a sense of suspended time that is characteristic of these small, protected corners. The visual narrative is focused on this mood, the way the diffused light interacts with the subdued colors, creating a sense of profound and restful calm. Everything is settled, unmoving, and deeply private. This is not a grand vista, but a small, essential pocket of peace, a visual anchor for quiet contemplation within the residential boundary. The deep focus ensures that the sense of enclosure and the deliberate arrangement of the space are fully present, allowing the eye to wander across the surfaces that make up this unassuming scene of quiet domesticity. Stepping into the shadowed threshold of the porch, the world outside is framed and softened, yet the light of mid-morning holds a gentle intensity across the low plantings of the front garden. This enclosed space, right at the boundary of the home, feels immensely safe and personal, a transition zone steeped in quiet domestic atmosphere. The wide view, held in the balance between the deep shadow and the illuminated garden, speaks to a comfortable sense of protection and observation. The light here is clean and clear, defining the varying textures and heights of the small, layered landscape without any harshness, embodying a peaceful, awake stillness. This is the garden at its most settled and unassuming, a quiet welcome that offers visual rest. The perspective emphasizes the small, manageable scale of the residential garden, a contained universe of calm where the focus is entirely on the interplay of light, shadow, and green texture. The feeling is one of being settled within one's own space, a deep sense of belonging and peaceful ownership that permeates the visual field. It is a composition of quiet geometry and soft light, a visual narrative of tranquility that avoids any form of distraction or grandiosity, focusing instead on the gentle, everyday beauty of a home environment. The depth of the shot draws the eye slowly into the scene, confirming the sense of sheltered intimacy. The world narrows down to a tiny, essential act in this enclosed courtyard space, focusing on the slow, inevitable release of water onto the bed of dark, smooth stones. The light, cool and oblique, emphasizes the dampness, the glossy sheen on the pebbles that reflects the subdued sky. This is a moment of deep, concentrated stillness, where the quiet sound of a single drop would be the loudest event. The close-up view heightens the sense of intimacy and the domestic scale of the setting, inviting a profound observation of the smallest elements that contribute to the garden's atmosphere. There is a primal, soothing quality to this visual narrative, a sense of unhurried process within the sheltered bounds of the home. The composition is about texture and light's gentle touch, the way the moisture clings and the surfaces yield a subtle, reflective glow. This quiet corner is a study in restrained beauty, where the overall feeling of peace is derived from the absence of distraction and the presence of simple, natural elements perfectly settled in their place. The intense focus on this small detail underscores the deep calm of the larger residential garden, a stillness found in the quiet accumulation of moments and materials. The scene breathes a cool, profound peace, a visual sigh in the heart of the home. The encompassing presence of the home defines this small backyard patio, an intimate, contained area that feels entirely sheltered from the outside world. The late afternoon light, now mellow and deeply warming, stretches shadows with a peaceful finality, giving a rich, comforting texture to the paving and the low, curved stone wall. This is a space built for stillness, where the eye can follow the gentle curves and lines that define the residential scale without encountering any visual noise or abruptness. The atmosphere is one of profound serenity, a deep, quiet exhale held within the frame. The wide shot emphasizes the complete enclosure, the feeling of being embraced by the subtle architecture of the garden and the proximity of the dwelling. There is a visual harmony in the way the soft light illuminates the materials, highlighting their age and settled place within the domestic context. This is not a scene of action, but of quiet repose, a visual narrative that centers on the comfort of being perfectly situated in a small, well-defined space. The gentle fall of the light speaks to the slow, predictable rhythm of the day, reinforcing the deeply rooted sense of calm and unhurried peace that permeates the home garden. Everything is at rest, in perfect equilibrium. The boundary of the side yard, marked by the weathered wooden fence, creates a vertical plane of stillness, a quiet backdrop for the dense, protective foliage. The early morning light struggles to penetrate this close, intimate space, leaving it bathed in a cool, deep shade that absorbs all harshness and contrast. This enclosed corner of the home garden feels intensely private and coolly atmospheric, a pocket of subdued color and rich texture. The low angle emphasizes the height of the fence and the feeling of being gently enclosed within this domestic perimeter. The visual narrative is focused on the quiet density, the way the leaves press against the wood, creating a pattern of natural order and stillness. There is a deep, restful calm in this subdued light, a feeling of being protected from the brighter world. This quiet composition is a study in subtle variation, where the textures of the materials and the gentle fall of the soft light are the only active elements. The silence of the image is profound, suggesting a deep, undisturbed repose that settles over the entire residential setting. This intimate view speaks to the small, essential beauties found in the overlooked, shadowed corners of the home garden. The small, contained surface of the water becomes a visual mirror for the quiet atmosphere of the backyard garden, reflecting the cool, diffused light of the late afternoon sky with perfect stillness. The calm of the water is absolute, an unmoving sheet that holds the world above in a gentle, inverted image. This focal point emphasizes the deep sense of peace and enclosure that characterizes the residential garden. The surrounding foliage recedes slightly into a soft visual wash, directing all attention to the serene, unblemished surface of the pool. The atmosphere is deeply reflective, inviting a quiet pause within the bounds of the home. This close, intimate view captures the essence of tranquility, the way small elements can anchor a much larger feeling of settled calm. The quality of the light is soft and even, lending a silvered, contemplative tone to the entire composition. It is a moment of deep visual rest, a confirmation of the garden's role as a sanctuary where the simple elements of water, light, and stillness converge. The shallow focus draws the viewer into the immediate, quiet drama of the still reflection, highlighting the domestic scale of this peaceful moment. The early evening light settles over the garden with a delicate, diffused warmth, lending an ethereal softness to the scene. The low ground cover and the simple wooden gate in the corner define the quiet perimeter of this residential space, suggesting a gentle finality to the day's light and activity. The wide view encompasses the entirety of this small, enclosed area, allowing the eye to appreciate the scale and the deep sense of domestic containment. The atmosphere is immensely peaceful, a quiet breath held just before the full descent of night. There is a profound stillness in the composition, a sense of everything having settled into its place, undisturbed and at rest. The visual narrative is carried by the softness of the light and the unassuming presence of the elements ground, the plants, the wood all harmoniously arranged within the home's bounds. This scene embodies the quiet dignity of a well-loved, small garden, a place defined by its intimacy and its persistent calm. The gentle diffusion of the light ensures that no single element dominates, creating a balanced and deeply restful image that speaks volumes about the peace found in simple, enclosed space. The midday light, high and bright, falls with a surprising gentleness onto the small, patterned path that winds through the side yard's dense foliage. This high-angle perspective grants a sense of quiet overview, emphasizing how completely the domestic space is contained and enveloped by the surrounding greenery. The light is clean and clear, illuminating the subtle textures of the stone path without creating harsh, distracting contrasts, resulting in an atmosphere of luminous stillness. The eye follows the gentle curve of the path, a small, quiet line that suggests unhurried movement within the home's boundaries, a visual metaphor for peaceful contemplation. The intimate scale of the path, almost swallowed by the generous foliage, reinforces the deeply private and enclosed nature of the setting. The visual narrative centers on this balance between the ordered pattern of the stone and the natural, soft chaos of the plants. The overall feeling is one of bright, awake calm, a moment where the garden is fully present and settled in the clear light of day. This composition is a final affirmation of the peace and restorative quiet found in the unassuming, small spaces of a residential home garden.